you know, I've been thinking, because I read and watch a lot of documentary videos and listen to podcasts. Now, from these different types of podcasts and from the people I listen to, I've been thinking. I thought about when I was going to the a pipe fitting class over here in Florence, South Carolina. And I remember there was one girl in the class that I became real cool with. And I remember one day she asked me, she said, oh, well, she said, well, I kind of think you would be happy that Obama was elected as president again. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. I mean, shit. I mean, it's like I'm getting like some check in the mail or some shit because he's back in office. Now, it's not to take away from him being in office, and it's not to get all crazy about him being there and whatnot. This is what I noticed. For those who didn't grow up, live through where they through functioning eyes, this is what I do notice when he was in office. I noticed that it seemed as though the white folks I lived around here, not the ones necessarily in New York, because around that time period, that's when I had moved to South Carolina. They kind of wasn't given that whole, you know, I don't like your ass type of vibes. I'll be honest with you, you know. I mean, but you can get that anywhere, but I know that, but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm speaking about is that this is something a lot of black people tend to talk about when it's like, you know, how black people are perceived as scary, demonizing black people, and this, that, and all the rest of that. The point is that, you know, if black people were so fucked up, when you actually had a black ass face in office, not the first black person went on a tirade, rounded up all the black people in the country, and told all the white folks that they were going to be in slavery. Now, like I said, for some of y'all, this is going to be like, oh my God, think about that. Think about why that did not take place. Just think about it for a second. Okay, that's enough. I'm going to tell you why that didn't take place. Number one, think about what black people have instilled over hundreds of years through multiple generations. What have we been taught? And where did that teaching come from? This is part of like how I was talking about understanding your social norms. Where the fuck do you come? Where are they coming from? Where did you get that from? And why was it put out there to you? You understand what I'm saying? Now here's the thing. Number one, black people at the very first, like during slavery and stuff like that, definitely was demonized, definitely was super criticized about being negative and not good looking and this, that, and the other, hypersexual and all the rest of that fucking noise and shit. Now check it. Once you already strip the person of any values, any culture, anything that represents themselves, now what you do is you formulate some kind of tactic, some kind of methodology so they can grasp onto that. And now you're retelling them who they are. You understand what I'm saying? That includes for the fact that a lot of Africans were not allowed to be in church. They wasn't allowed to be a part of church service. But that came later. And then when it did come into play, where they were capable of going to church services, you know, this was not obviously teaching what they originally, the cultures and stuff like that, from where they came from, Africa. So they're being taught. Think about what the Bible really tells you. Think about what it tells you about being docile, about backing down. The thing is that it doesn't tell you when and where to use some of these tactics. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't do that. This is what was a book that was used to manipulate black people in this country. Now, this is why a lot of black people didn't gang up and be like, yo, fuck that, we up in here. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I ain't saying they had to go out there and shoot each other up. Nope, not saying that. What I am saying is pay attention to your motherfucking social norms. I'm just giving you an example of social norms. Okay? We taught to hate each other. Remember that. Y'all should know that. Y'all got books. Y'all got Google just like I do. You know, Google that shit. Black people have been taught in this country to hate themselves and other people that look like themselves. You know, that type of thing. I'll just be honest with you. I mean, it really ain't hard to tell. Because if you really like yourself and you really like the other black person next to you, you're not so highly concerned about them. This guy, that new black guy that works at the job, you're not looking at him like, oh, he's coming to take my job. Bitch, no. Like, oh my God, another brown face besides me, I'm good here where I'm at. He's going to ruin it for yeah. But you know there's people out there that actually think that. Think I'm lying. Bitch, you old enough to have lived life. Pay attention. Needless to say, but yeah, it's what I'm talking about is social norms. What are they? Where did they come from? And why? You know? So you probably don't even have to do too much digging on all of that. All you gotta do is just find someone who's already talking about it. They already spoke about it. It's like once you're able to take those rights, rules, the freedom away from somebody, and you have that instilled in them to the point where it becomes a scar. You understand? And then you can go generations down and still have that person and tell them that they're a slave and they don't run away. No gates. No chains, no nothing. They're not gonna go anywhere because they seen how you humiliated, beat up, murdered, things of that nature, their family and other people that look just like them. So what makes them think that they can just get out? Doors wide the fuck open, but they scared. You understand what I'm saying? It's true. It's really true. But at the end of the day, I'm just gonna leave y'all with that. And yeah, social norms, bitch. Pay attention to motherfucking social norms. Start questioning some of that shit. Because some of it is not meant to benefit you. Trust and believe. Oh, and by the way, white folks, let me just let you know. Y'all, I do know not all y'all covered by the old holy white cloth. Because you have some in power that don't think shit about you too. But they give you just a little bit of squeak by because you resemble them. They don't you don't quite equate to them, and you don't equate to us. You know, when it comes to negative representation. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, you're kind of above us, but below them. Type of like a little thing like that kind of, yeah, that's kind of, yeah, It's fucked up. It's fucked up. That's what happens when there's people that want to control everything. It's really fucked up. But anyway, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.